Okay, so after restarting Flex, just to check that it's successfully installed, you can go to the, the perspectives and take a look at the other perspectives, and you'll notice that you now have a SVN repository exploring perspective. You can also notice that there is a SVN checkout projects from SVN wizard. Additionally, in the preferences, there is now under the team section, there's a SVN configuration element. So all of this points to, okay, yes, we now have the Subversion plugin installed. And I found that without the Java HL interface selected, or I'm sorry, if that component, that plugin is not installed, this is blank, and you can't actually connect to anything. So you need a client, and selecting the recommended client out of the configuration is the easiest way to get up and running quickly. For the sake of completeness, we're also going to talk about uninstalling. It's not as straightforward as you would believe, but it's done again through the help software updates. But in this case, we're actually going to go to manage configuration option. And within here, to actually uninstall particular plugins, we need to go to the configuration tab, or the configuration tree here, and you can right click, and one of the options is uninstall. And if you go through and uninstall the elements that we just selected in the find and install, that will uninstall it. You can also disable it, the functionality of subclips, but if you're going to get rid of it, might as well just delete it or have it uninstalled. Okay, so now that we have the Subversion client and the Subclips plugin installations out of the way, we need someplace to actually store our code. So for that, we're going to go to Unfuddle. Unfuddle.com. Let's switch to that right now. It's really quick to get a repository up and running on this site. So if we just go to sign up, I'm not going to go through that. I'll just show it. I've already got a test account and a test project set up. But if you want to set one up via this site or some other site, hopefully it's very easy. Just sign up, select free account. You get some pieces of information, and you create a domain on Unfuddle that is going to be a reference URL for the project that you want to store. So I've already done this, and we're just going to proceed on, assuming that I've created this. So let's just go look at my repository account. Okay, and here it is. So you've got a dashboard. We're going to go to the repositories tab, and we're going to create a new one. In this case, we're going to call it test repository. I've already created one, so let's call the short name for this is going to be test, and this is going to generate URL. Make sure your type is Subversion. I believe they also support Git. Yes, they do. We're going to create it, and now we have a repository. And what's very important to note is this URL right here. So I'm going to copy that out right now. That's the URL that we're going to use to access this repository. Okay, so let's go ahead and tie the IDE to the Subversion repository that we just created. So let's go to File, New, Other, and then check out projects from SVN. Don't worry that we don't have any project there. We'll create a new one. So let's create a new repository location. Let's give it that URL that we just copied. And now we have it. I've already added my credentials, so you may get prompted to actually enter your credentials at some point. So let's just go ahead and check this out as a project using the new project wizard. So let's click finish. Necessarily we don't want to check out the root, but for the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to check out the root of our repository. Normally you'd create a folder structure in there. Subversion suggests basically having a trunk folder with your project folder inside. I'm sorry, your project folder with a trunk folder inside, a tag folder and a branches folder to separate out these elements of your source control. For the purposes of this tutorial, we're just going to go ahead and check out our root. So let's create a new Flex project, and then let's just call it test SVN, and then click finish. That's fine, just ignore that warning.